What is up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you a live stream. I rarely go live. I need to start going live a lot more often, but today is the big day. Today is draft day. I've been doing a lot of videos leading up to the draft. A lot of other people as well been doing videos leading up to the draft. So I know this is one of the most exciting times for especially for us sports fans, NFL fans. I'm super excited. Man, been a long time coming. Doing a bunch of videos. I've been doing videos for the draft since probably February. I've been doing, matter of fact, since last year. But today I'm gonna bring you a video today. Basically, bring you a video reacting to Daniel Jeremiah, the draft guru. He's a former NFL scout. I forgot for which team. I listen to his podcast often, not often, but pretty, here and there. Not too often, I meant to say, but I do listen to his podcast. And him and Peter Strager are two of my favorite guys. I like to listen to. So yeah, I like to react to his final mock draft for 2023. I haven't pulled up, haven't watched it yet, but I want to watch his mock draft and react to it. I also want to go through PFF's big board and see what they're thinking about. As I say in some of my videos, I'm not the biggest fan of PFF, and I do respect what they do, but I'm not really an analytics guy. So, but I'm gonna definitely check out what they have to say and what they do and see what their power rankings look like on their end. But let's get started, man. So, as I said, today is draft day, and as you know, I'm a Falcons fan, and I'm super excited, super nervous. I'm praying, I'm still praying we don't fall for a quarterback. I've been saying since last year. I did a video. I gotta check my phone, but I did a video last year saying I want Bryce Young. Tank for Bryce Young. I'm all for it. And this was prior to last year's draft. And we ended up getting Desmond Ritter, obviously. And I do like Ritter. Seen him play the last handful of games, 4 games. I like what I saw. Has some good potential. I don't think he'll be amazing or nothing like that. But he can be solid. He can be a cheap quarterback option for the next couple of years. You need to turn my mail off. Excuse me for that. If you hear that, you might didn't hear it, but let me turn that off. But he'll be a cheap option for the next couple of years. And then even if we do keep him and pay him long term, Ritter shouldn't cost too much. He shouldn't break the bank on us. But my Falcons have been in the rumors for a quarterback all off season since Lamar Jackson. I've been saying that I've been pounding at the table from the get go. Please don't get Lamar, and we haven't got him. So hopefully they follow the plan, follow suit. Unless we can get Stroud or Bryce Young, which Bryce Young is definitely not possible. At least so we've heard. Stroud, you never know. But if we can't get neither one of those two guys, do not go for Levis, do not go for Richardson. But that's really it. But yeah, I've been doing a bunch of content, man. A bunch of content on guys who will be traded during the draft, day 1, 2, or 3. I have guys who will be, targeted, got teams who will trade down, surprise picks. So I've been doing a bunch, man, and I'm happy with everything of how it came out. But you never know. All these prediction videos, especially for the draft, you never know. You never can really call it. But I'm definitely, excited to see what happens tonight. I did two. If you haven't seen on my community page, I did two final predictions. As I said yesterday, in my last video on Brian Branch, Alabama Nickelback, who I think is elite. I said in that video that's my last final prediction of my last pre-draft video. I can't even say it right. That's my last pre-draft video. So yesterday on my community page, I put out two final predictions. So I'm staying on my word. My last pre-draft video was that yesterday. So this don't really count. This don't really count. Just a live stream. But I did Nolan Smith to the Packers, and I did Will Anderson falling down to pick 6 to Detroit Lions. I think that'd be a fantastic move for both teams. Like I said, we'll see if it happens. And I don't care the way if it do or don't. Some people in the comment section be ready to die about die about their team was not picking him. I don't want him. We don't want him. We don't need him. So just relax. Not that serious. Like I said, I'm a Falcons fan. I can do a video bigging up another team, my division or whatever. So it's not a big deal to me, but some people take it to heart. Oh man, sorry for that noise. they come across here the worst time. But on to the video though. Let's get right into it. Let's look at Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft. So I have it pulled up over here. Let me share my screen with you guys real quick. Share screen. There we go. Look at Daniel Jeremiah. Let's see what we can see. All right, so I haven't looked at it yet, but Daniel Jeremiah's last mock draft for the 2023 season. Let's look into it. So, as I said, he's looked at as a draft guru. So let's see what we have to say. So NFL Network analyst Daniel Jeremiah releases fourth and final mock draft on Wednesday. All right. No spoilers there. Go to the list. All right, Daniel Jeremiah mock draft 4.0. And I'm gonna check back for some comments also. And I have my phone open so I can see the comments if anyone drops some. So let's get into it. So Daniel Jeremiah, Carolina Panthers, Alabama, obviously goes 1. Houston Texans, Ohio State, quarterback CJ Stroud. Cool, makes sense. Okay, Houston Texans trade up with the Cardinals for pick 3 to get Will Anderson. Hmm. So the Houston Texans go to CJ Stroud and they trade back up the Cardinals at pick 3. I don't mind it. I just don't. I'm pretty sure they gave up pick 12. I don't want to scroll down and spoil myself on any other surprise moves. But if this were to happen, right, it sounds cool. It looks cool, but I don't think the Cardinals. I know the Cardinals want to trade down. I don't know if they want to trade down to what pick 12. You know, I believe the Cardinals' second pick is pick 12. Because pick 13 is the Packers they just traded for with the swap for with the Jets. I don't know if the Cardinals want to go that far down, but I do know the rumor is they want to trade back. They're looking at Paris Johnson Jr. or one of the cornerbacks at pick 12. All those guys might be going. You know what I mean? And I did a prediction video a couple days ago on Kyler Murray warning Paris Johnson Jr. You know that's public, and I think they're going to go for what the quarterback wants. So it it sounds great. It looks great for the Texans, but I don't know if the Cardinals go down that far. That's a lot. That's a lot to go down from pick 2 to pick 3 to pick 12. That's tough. So look cool, but I don't agree with it. Let's keep moving on. Colts pick Will Levis 4. All right. I think Richardson fits the scheme a little bit better, but I have heard what the Colts GM or assistant GM love Levis, and then the owner loves Stroud, and so we'll see where it goes. But Will Levis makes sense as well. I'm not opposed to it. Seattle Seahawks go Jalen Carter. Yep. And one thing on the Seahawks, I do want to say before I move on. I've been thinking, this is real early in the process. Draft hasn't even started yet, but I've been thinking though. The Seattle Seahawks are one of the most low-key dangerous teams this season. They bought back Bobby Wagner. They already have a solid defense. Jordan Brooks comes back. They got Draymond Jones. If they get Jalen Carter or Will Anderson or Tyree Wilson, I'll be happy. And then they have one more pick. I forgot where it's at, somewhere in the first round. So, and then they also already have a decent offense. They already have a decent defense, and defense is getting better. As I said, with the addition of Bobby Wagner and a young guy like Carter or Will Anderson, it's gonna be scary, man. And I've been looking at the Seahawks roster real good lately, and they're looking nice. I'm not gonna lie. So as of right now, and as I said, I'm a Falcons fan, but I can definitely give other team props and look at them and say, hey, they're better, or hey, they're pretty solid. I'm looking at the Seahawks like, man, I'm liking what they're doing. They're looking a little scary. I know everyone want to say the Niners are top dog, or the who else? Niners or Eagles. If you play Seattle in Seattle, or if Seattle brings their A game, they're a tough out. But like I said, we all have to see next. The draft hasn't started yet. Mini camps ain't happened yet. Nothing happened yet. But I'm just saying, early on, I'm loving what Seattle's doing, how they're looking. They've been low key under the radar, making some pretty good moves. And I think their defense is going to be very, very, very good. And Jamal Adams comes back and he's not playing safety. What I've been hearing, he's going to play weak side linebacker. He's going to drop down full time, not play safety, and be weak side linebacker. That makes sense. People on Madden have been doing that for years now. Because he's not good in coverage, so that makes sense. Man, the Seahawks could be dangerous. I would say that. I'll leave it there, but Seahawks could be dangerous. Pick 6, Detroit Lions, Illinois cornerback Devon Witherspoon. I did a prediction video about 2 weeks ago on them getting Gonzalez cornerback out of Oregon. Either way, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I do like Gonzalez more, but Witherspoon definitely fits what the Lions have going on in Detroit. So I'm cool with it either way, honestly. I'm not mad at it. Next, Vegas Raiders go Gonzalez. Cool. Not mad at it. My Falcons at pick 8 go with Bijan Robinson. Did a video on it. Not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I did a video on it. My official prediction was Miles Murphy from Clemson. And looking at the list right now, I don't see him nowhere in the top 16. And I've been seeing that lately too about Miles Murphy not being as high as I thought he was. My list is different from everybody else's. I'm not gonna be like, mine is an end all be all, but for what I like, from how I see different, from what I see the team needs, I like Miles Murphy for my Falcons. We haven't had a good a consistent pass rusher for a long time. I would love to get a young guy in there behind Bud Dupree to not sit, but to be a rotation guy for a year. The next year be there full time, hopefully. I would love to get a prime time cream of the crop prospect like Miles Murphy, like Tyree Wilson, like Nolan Smith. But I do understand the Bijan Robinson height. He is one of a kind player, so it seems Cordell Patterson's getting older. Dealt with a lot of injuries last year. Algier, rookie last year, played phenomenal the second half of the season, but Robson is a monster. I do understand that. I've been saying the last couple of days, Bijan Robson, and we all knew this anyway, but Bijan Robson could be an all pro, could be a pro bowler in year one. That's not impossible, so I understand it, I get it, but I definitely do love me a pass rusher to go along with our defense. But I do understand, Bijan Robinson is a monster. He should be a guaranteed lock to be at least above average, at least slightly above average, and anything better than that is definitely awesome and expected. But his ceiling should be, hey, I'm an above average back. I can do it all, cool. His floor, that's his floor. His ceiling is top notch and everything. He's going to be a monster, pushing 1,700 yards first year. 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Something like that would be a phenomenal first year, and it wouldn't be surprising. So I'm cool with Bijan. I'm not mad at it, but I would really love to get a pass rusher here. But I'm not mad at it. Chicago Bears at pick 9. They are rumored to trade back at from pick 9. They get Tyree Wilson. Makes sense. I'm not mad at it. And as I said in my prediction video, I have Tyree Wilson at number 2 going to the Texans. I have him as a better player overall than Will Anderson down the line. Will Anderson right now is a better edge rusher, no doubt about it. And you see Tyree Wilson listed as an edge, but he's not an edge. He's going to be a D tackle playing everywhere. D tackle, D end, edge here and there. He's going to get bigger, going to get stronger. Already got long arms, great size on him, 6'6", 275. He's going to be a monster, and I just think, me personally, I like my prediction more. I think the Texans are going to love him. A new version, a new, JJ Watt, if you will. JJ Watt played everything as well. Stand up and edge if you need him to. D end, D tackle, nose tackle, either side, left or right. I think Wilson could be the same thing, and he's been doing that at Texas Tech for the last couple of years. So I think he'll even get better as time goes on. So I like Wilson more than Will Anderson. So even if this does happen, scroll back up. Even if this does happen, and the Texans go to went too far up. Texans go to with CJ Stroud. I definitely think if this does happen at Houston pick 3, I think this could be not Will Anderson, Tyree Wilson. I really think it could be Tyree Wilson. Um, I think he's just a better overall scheme fit for the Texans also than Will Anderson. And like I said in my intro earlier, I did have a prediction post on the Detroit Lions or Seattle Seahawks going for Will Anderson if he drops because the Colts don't really need him. So I think the Seahawks or Lions could be in play. It could be Jalen Carter and Will Anderson in these two spots, or it could be vice versa. Will Anderson to Seattle, the Lions get Jalen Carter. So that's definitely possible there, but we'll see. This is Daniel Jeremiah's final mock draft for the 2023 draft. So we're just going off what he's doing and what he's saying, what he's listened to. No, he's in the mix. He knows. So let's see how accurate this is once the draft starts and finishes after day one. Number 10, Philadelphia Eagles. They're rumored to be trying to trade back or up. I've seen both reports. Don't know if it's true or not, but I've been seeing that they're trying to move up or down. Maybe Will Anderson, maybe Bijan. I'm not quite sure, but late last night, I've seen they don't want Bijan. They're gonna go for a pass rusher, which makes sense too. Um, what's the guy's name? They're Brandon something. They're veteran pass rusher. He's like 34, 35 years old. Had an injury last year or two. I forgot his name now, but yeah, he's getting older. Fletcher Coxman's last year, most likely. They say he could have been a Jet as well. They say Aaron Rodgers and the Jets tried to talk to him. They were close, but they couldn't quite get Fletcher Cox on the last 1 year deal. So, they're getting older. They have Jordan Davis already. So, Will Anderson or a guy like Tyree Wilson or Jalen Carter could be in play for the Eagles to trade up with. And they have Josh Sweat, a guy I played with in high school, and he was a freak. Josh Sweat is a guaranteed freak. I've seen him in high school. He's a monster, and he's been great since back then. I didn't play with him. I played against him. And luckily, the my final game against them, I didn't play. I fractured my wrist, so I set out that game, and my coach wanted me to rest until the playoffs the next week, and I played offensive guard and tackle, and I played defensive tackle and defensive end, and he played tight end and defensive end. And luckily I didn't play because he was rushing on my side that I was supposed to be at. So gladly I didn't see him play. I didn't see him, but yeah, he definitely was a monster back then, and definitely still is pretty good now. Got a new contract, well, a year or two ago, so that's good for him. So on to the next one, Tennessee Titans. So I ain't go to pick Eagles. Nolan Smith, yes, makes sense. Definitely makes sense. A lot of people are having Nolan Smith above Miles Murphy. I'm not liking it. I'm not gonna lie to you. As I said, Miles Murphy was my pick for pick 8. And as I'm looking at his list now, I don't see Miles Murphy nowhere in the top 16. I think, and I see guys like Cansey from Pitt, and not trying to do too much, not trying to spoil myself too much, but looking at names, I'm not really loving it. I think Miles Murphy is going to be slept on. And I don't think Smith is that much better to be picked so much higher than Miles Murphy. But I like Smith. He's cool. He's smaller, but I have Smith going to 13 to the Packers, in my personal opinion. But you know that's just me. Could be wrong. Could be off there. Next, Tennessee Titans, Boston College wide receiver Zay Flowers. Mm, Tennessee Titans get Zay Flowers. Not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. They do need some receiver help. They need offensive linemen also, though. Titans are rumored to trade up or back too. They're in the same vein as the Eagles. They heard they want to trade up for QB. Heard they don't. Heard they want to trade back and get more picks. Heard they don't. So you never know. You never know. But I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. The Derrick Henry rumors kind of picked up steam late last week about him going to the Eagles. I did videos this offseason about him going to the Bears or to the Bills. I think that's going to be off. I think Henry stays and be a free agent next season, and he'll pick his destination next year for the last step of his career, most likely. Sign a 2-3 year deal. I think Henry stays for the full length of the season this season for the Titans. And Tannehill, too. I think they ride out. and then they, however they do it next year, they just, start a little rebuild or something. But I think Henry stays. If Tannehill does be traded, my Falcons are the first are the first teams that's going to be calling. We know Arthur Smith has been picking up all former Titans players. Jonnu Smith. Um, what's the other guy we just got? Shucks, I forgot his name. Who was it? Jonnu Smith, and we got another former Titan. My memory's so bad. I forgot now, but yeah, we traded for Jonnu Smith. Arthur Smith got someone else. I thought, dang, my memory's so bad. Who did we get as a former Titan recently? Shucks, I forgot. Man, my bad. But yeah. So if Tannehill is traded or cut, I will look for my Falcons to be the first ones coming up, to his door. So that's a sucky part. I don't want Tannehill either. I want Desmond Ritter, and that's it. Unless we get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, that's all I want. Next, Arizona Cardinals. Paris Johnson makes sense. I have this exact prediction. I have it at pick 3 though, but there's no problem. So as I said, this is Dane Jeremiah's prediction. His final mock draft, he had the Texans taking at pick 2 CJ Stroud, and then the Texans trading up behind their first pick in number 2's number 3, and they traded with the Cardinals to get Will Anderson. So, but my prediction, I just think they'll stay at 3, because the rumor is right now no team wants to trade up to pick 3 because there's no point. You know, um, from what I've been hearing, but you never know. I'm not in the mix like a guy like Daniel Jeremiah is. I'm a regular person with a regular job. But me personally, I had this prediction at pick 12, the Cardinals getting Paris Johnson. It makes sense. Like I said before, you just played Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray wants Paris Johnson. That's public knowledge now. I think they're going to get him. Whether it be a pick 2, pick 12, pick whatever, I think they're going to land Paris Johnson, and my prediction comes true there. Number 13, Green Bay Packers get Dalton Kincaid. Makes sense. I will be hurt. I'm not going to lie to you. I did a long, extensive video on Dalton Kincaid going to the Commanders at pick 16. I love the fit there. I love the move there. I did a post yesterday on the Packers getting Nolan Smith at pick 13. They drafted 2 uh, University of Georgia players last year, and Quay Walker, the linebacker, and Wyatt, the defensive tackle. So I thought going one more year with another UGA player, Nolan Smith, to sit behind Preston Smith, or not sit behind, but be a rotation guy behind Preston Smith, their other pass rusher, along with Rashawn Gary, would make sense to me also. But I'm not mad at it. Ryan Tunyon, Rob Tunyon, whatever his name is, Tunyon, I got the tight end's first name, but R. Tunyon went to the Bears now. Rodgers gone. Jordan Love needs a veteran presence there, or at least a safety blanket. And you have a guy like Dalton Kincaid, who reminds people of Zach Ertz, Travis Kelce, in that range. So I'm not mad at it. He's not a blocker. He's a strictly athletic catcher, athletic pass catcher, big boy, 6'4", like 220, no, about 230, 240. And he's got good hands, good route runner. So he's solid. It's a solid move there. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Number 14, but one more thing before I go. I do have a prediction video in there for the Packers to get a slot receiver, a veteran slot receiver. Either Hunter Renfrow, I did a video on this months ago. Hunter Renfrow from the Raiders going to the Packers. I have that. Or Tyler Boyd from the Bengals going to the Packers. I think they look to add a veteran wide receiver, a veteran slot guy. Dobbs plays outside. Christian Watson plays the outside. They need a slot. They need a veteran slot. As I said, safety blanket like the tight end. They need a slot. I think Hunter Renfrow or Tyler Boyd are prime candidates to be traded to the Packers. So watch out for those moves there. Or Jerry Jeudy, maybe. We'll see. Next, New England Patriots, pick 14, Lucas Van Ness. I'm fine with it. Not mad at it. I wouldn't be surprised if they went lineman. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised either if they went with my favorite defensive player in this draft, and that's Brian Branch, slot corner / hybrid safety from Alabama. I think he's an elite prospect. The Patriots veteran safety, the twin Devin McCourty, just retired this past, a couple weeks ago, past month ago. So that safety spot is open. beside Kyle Duggar. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see an elite prospect like Brian Branch go pick 14. But most people have him, even though he's an elite slot guy, an elite safety. People have him mocked so low because who needs a slot guy so early, a slot cornerback so early? You know, he's a safety as well, but he'll mostly play the slot when in crunch time and in certain formations, he'll play the slot because he's a lockdown guy there. So it makes sense for him to drop a little lower than this, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think it'll be a great fit. So I like look at Van Ness fit makes sense. I'm not mad at it. New York Jets, Peter Skronsky, someone I love from my Falcons at 8 as well. I like it. I like it. They need some O-line help anyway. He listed as a tackle, but he'll probably be a guard. He has shorter arms, sub 33-inch arms. So yeah, he should be a Pro Bowler. He should be a Pro Bowler early on. So yeah, that makes sense there. The Jets have been mocked to go either line or a guy like Brian Branch as well. So we'll see. Washington Commanders, pick 16, Emmanuel Forbes. I love it. I love it. This fits with what I said earlier. I did a video. I posted it, but I deleted it like an hour or two later. I didn't like how it ended up coming out, but I did a video saying Joey Porter Jr. was overrated, right? And basically, I was saying a lot of Commanders fans want Joey Porter Jr. Big corner. I love big corners. He's 6'2.5". I forgot his weight. Big hands, physical, very handsy, very grabby. But I was like, man, I have him ranked about fifth on my cornerback list, and I have Forbes like third. Fourth. I have Emmanuel Forbes fourth. He's a smaller guy, 5'9", 5'10", but he gets the job done. He's an interception machine. And I was saying that the Commanders and teams who need cornerback after getting Christian Gonzalez, after Witherspoon is gone, they should target Forbes prior to getting Porter Jr. And that's where we see here Commanders going for Forbes and Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft. I think Porter Jr. drops a little bit. You know, I'm not gonna spoil myself and look down at the list too much, but I don't see him in the next couple picks. So we'll see where it goes there. Pick 17, Broderick Jones. This makes sense. This has been rumored. This is excuse me. This has been rumored for a good little while now. So it definitely does make sense. Not mad at it. All right. Detroit Lions, Pitt defensive tackle, can't see. Good pass rusher. People want to compare him with Donald so bad. Aaron Donald. No, no, but similar size, similar weight. I get it. Same college, but Cansey's not as polished as Aaron Donald was, but he's a very good pass rusher from that D tackle spot. Very, very good. And it definitely does make sense. I don't mind it. I don't mind it as well. I was saying somehow if the Seahawks get Will Anderson at pick 5, the Lions pick Jalen Carter at pick 6, they won't need this pick here at 18 to be Cansey. They can try for Anthony Richardson, and they can go receiver, so or something else, So this pick is definitely contingent on at pick 18. It's contingent on if they get Carter at pick 6 or a guy like Will Anderson at pick 6. I think currently, who did he have getting him at pick 6? Who did Jeremiah have? Okay, he had Illinois cornerback on Witherspoon. So okay, that definitely makes sense there. They don't need too much in Detroit, honestly. And the rumor is right now they've been trying to trade out of that pick 8 spot. So pick 18 spot. So we'll see where that goes there. All right, next Tampa. Okay, Jackson Smith and Jimba out of Ohio State makes sense. I have a prediction video as well. I didn't name a team yet, but I have a prediction video that Mike Evans, Buccaneers star wide receiver, will be traded either the trade deadline or either during the draft weekend. And I'm leaning towards the trade deadline. I did that video months ago also, so I think they're going to blow it up eventually. And I think Mike Evans is the guy to go. It just makes too much sense to me. So this makes sense. Pair Smith and Jigma with Chris Godwin, who can play out or slot. It just makes sense. Not mad at it. Seahawks, Richardson. Makes sense. Clearly. Um, Geno Smith signed a 3-year deal, but it's really like a 2-year deal. And do you have Richardson sit both years? Get more improvement, get better accuracy, learn the play system, learn the scheme. Pete Carroll's going nowhere, unless some terrible happens. He's not going anywhere, so he'll be there for a long time. And as I said earlier on doing the stream, I think the Seahawks are in prime position to be a scary team for the next couple years. They have Jamal Adams back. He's not playing safety anymore. He's going to play weak side linebacker. They have Bobby Wagner back on a 1-year deal. They have Jordan Brooks coming back from injury. Excuse me for the background noise. Trying to get my charger right so my laptop don't die on me. One more. Oh, here we go. So yeah, as I said earlier on in the stream, I think the Seahawks could be one of the most dangerous teams the next couple years, and they'll be even more dangerous if they add on and incorporate a guy like Richardson. If he can reach somewhere near his top potential, it's going to be scary. And then they have a guy like Kenneth Walker uh, at, at, at running back. I also have a prediction video as well, 2 prediction videos. So I'm kind of hedging my bet just a little bit, but I have 2 prediction videos. One on Austin Eckler going to the Seahawks. I think that makes sense via trade. I have in my prediction, I have what's his name? So many daggone names in my head. Jahmyr Gibbs, Alabama running back. I have him going to the Chargers at pick 21. But I see right now that Jeremiah doesn't. But it's cool. But in my head, I have the Chargers keeping or trading Austin Eckler. It doesn't really matter, but I think 21 will be Jahmyr Gibbs. But I have 2 predictions. One, Austin Eckler going to the Seahawks, or I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire from the Chiefs going to the Seahawks. So, but I do think they will find a veteran running back to go pair with Kenneth Walker in Seattle. He's not much of a pass catcher, and you need any production from pass catching out of the backfield. Walker is not your guy. And I think they need to add someone that can definitely do that. And I have 2 names in mind, Eckler and Clyde Edwards-Helaire from Kansas City. So that makes sense to me there. Seattle is going to be a force for the next couple of years, in my opinion. 21, Notre Dame tight end Michael Mayer. Makes sense. This has been mocked for a while now. So, yeah, it makes sense. I did a prediction video on Dalton Schultz going to the Chargers. The former Cowboys. I can't even talk. The former Cowboys tight end, I thought was going to pair with Kellen Moore, the former Cowboys offensive coordinator that went to the Chargers. They say they were in talks early on during the free agency process, and it ended up Schultz. The rumor was Schultz wanted too much money. So Schultz took a 1-year deal to go down to Houston, to the Houston Texans. That's what they say happened. So I think Mayer makes sense here. If not, I like a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. I think they'd be a great fit. If not him, Jordan Addison, I think he's still on the board for the Chargers here. So next, Baltimore Ravens cornerback Deonte Banks. Not mad at it. Big boy out of Maryland, good size on him, pretty good playmaker. I don't mind it at all. Peters is a free agent. In my prediction, I have him going to the Giants, but I don't think even though wherever he goes, I don't think he returns to Baltimore. So that's a good move there. Pretty good young corner. And they say about 4 or 5 corners could go in the first round. And so far it's been 4. Forbes, Banks, Witherspoon, and Gonzalez. So let's see if Joey Porter goes. Number 23, Minnesota Vikings. Joey Porter's right there. So that's 5. Number 23, Minnesota Vikings, Jordan Addison to the Vikings. Who's on the board still? Okay, let me look at the last couple picks real quick. Okay, I'm not mad at it. Minnesota Vikings go Jordan Addison. I'm not mad at it. Yeah, he can play slot or outside. Pair him up with Jefferson and KJ Osborne and Hawkinson. It makes sense. One thing I will say, and I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I'm looking at the last couple of picks. Well, at least 23 to 29. I don't see Hendon Hooker. Kind of surprised, but let's keep on going. 24, Jacksonville Jaguars, Penn State cornerback Joey Porter Jr. I don't like it. I don't like it for one reason. You have Brian Branch right there. But I do like it kind of sort of because I have a prediction video. See, everything I have a narrative for everything. If it don't fit my narrative, I don't like it. But I do like it though. But I do have a prediction video on Arizona Cardinals trading safety Buda Baker to the Jaguars. So if they were to get Joey Porter Jr., they will still have the need for a slot corner. Joey Porter Jr. cannot play the slot. Can't do it. He's an outside boundary corner. So I will really love if this were to happen, which would be fine. They could still make the move for Buda Baker and bring him in at safety. Now, my personal pick would be go Brian Branch. Brian Branch plays a Buda Baker role, hybrid safety who can give you great slot corner play. That's what Buda Baker would be definitely going there for. So when I kept seeing Brian Branch mock to the Jaguars and everyone's mock draft, I got nervous because, like, dang, my prediction video is out the window now because Branch will play the Buda Baker role. So if Porter does go there, it does make sense for, it still would keep my pick alive for Buda Baker to go to the Jaguars. So I'm not mad at it, but me personally, if I'm the Jags, I will go for Branch rather than Porter, but that's just me. And then, man, yeah, I'll just swap it. I'll just swap it. Giants get Joey Porter, and the Jacksonville Jaguars get Brian Branch because I have Marcus Peters going to the Giants because he's an outside boundary corner, and they need an outside. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that one. The Jags don't need an outside corner; they need a slot corner, and the Giants need an outside corner. So yeah, I would definitely switch those two, 24 and 25. Don't like those two, but Giants do need Brian Branch though. I will say that if he is there and Porter's gone, Branch does make sense for the Giants. But I don't see Branch being there at 25. Me personally, if he somehow slips past those two, Jacksonville and Giants, Bills or Bengals are definitely hot spots to pick up Brian Branch. But I doubt he get past 25. Next, Dallas Cowboys, Luke Musgrave, cool. Buffalo Bills, TCU wide receiver Quentin Johnston. Mm, okay, okay, cool. I like it. I like it. I did a video on Quentin Johnston from TCU probably about 2 months ago, and I questioned if he was a first rounder. Because prior mock drafts months ago, around the same time as that video, had him firmly in the first round, about pick 10, pick 12, somewhere in that range. And now he's barely hanging on. So um, that's kind of interesting. Not how fans and media can fall out of love with you so fast. It's just been like a month and a half, 2 months, and he was firmly in like the top 15, firmly like Packers at 15, Jets. Well, that was prior to all the getting OBJ, not OBJ, but prior to making all those moves to get Lazard and McCole Hartman and those guys. It's funny how free agency and how the media can change on you that fast. So Quentin Johnston to the Bills makes sense. Isaiah McKenzie is gone. I always question if Gabe Davis is a true number two. So I do like the move here a lot. Bengals getting Keanu Benton, very good defensive tackle. Some people have him two behind Jalen Carter and one above or two above at spot two, ranked two, number at the defensive tackle, one below Jalen Carter and one above Cansey from Pitt. Makes sense. Big boy, strong. I like him. I like him. I love the move. I do like that move a lot. 29 Saints, Miles Murphy. Makes sense. I was thinking about Nolan Smith going to the Saints, but there's no way in the world I can see Nolan Smith dropping that far. All right, here's my boy, Jahmyr Gibbs, my favorite player, offensive player in this draft. Jahmyr Gibbs goes to the Eagles. Makes sense. Makes a ton of sense. I think he's going to be a stud. I keep saying this. I've been saying this for about 4 months now. I don't think the gap between Gibbs and Robinson is that big. I really don't. I think Gibbs will be a stud. He'll be nice, and I think you know he's not as big as Robinson. He's not as big. He's not as physical, but he gets the job done in a different way, but just as elite as Robinson does, in my opinion. So I love Gibbs going to Eagles. Scary fit, very scary fit. It's the same as Robinson. That's in a different way, but it's a scary fit. Same as both fits are scary. If they get Gibbs or they get Robinson. So Kansas City Chiefs to end off the first round because the Miami Dolphins lost their pick. Kansas City Chiefs, the last pick of the first round, Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright, who I have as my favorite offensive tackle in this year's draft, goes to number 31 to the champs. Makes sense. Makes sense. They Andrew Brown is gone now. They have not Andrew Brown, Orlando Brown, and they traded for who they get? The guy from the Jags, Jawan Taylor. They paid him a lot of I didn't like that one. I didn't like, but people, Chiefs fans, and I debated on that for a while. They got Jawan Taylor for a lot of money. I thought they should have just paid Orlando Brown, but they were telling me Brown was super overhyped. I I guess. I guess so. Let's see what Jeremiah notes is. All right. Edge and cornerback dominate round one. I agree. And I think they I don't agree with his order, but I do agree that they will dominate round one. Anthony Richardson falls to number 20. So let's go back to the list one more time. Look at his list one more. He only had like two trades or one trade. My bad, going too far. He only had one trade. It was the Cardinals and the Texans at pick 3. The Texans move up from 12, and they get pick 3. The Cardinals move down from 3, and they go to the Houston Texans pick at 12. Yeah, that's the only trade he had in the whole. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I think that'll be a first round, at least 3. As far as pick swaps go, I think Hopkins will be traded. Obviously, that's coming soon. Jay Judy or Cortland Sutton makes sense. Um, okay, so Anthony Richardson. Okay, Eagles obviously. Titans will go Zay Flowers over Richardson. Maybe, maybe. Commanders. Yeah, I think they definitely skip them. Lions 18 is a tough one. No, that's only 2 picks earlier, so yeah, that sounds about right. If he does drop, I don't think no one trades up to get him. But I am surprised on this list though. He had no one trading up to get a guy like Hendon Hooker. That is interesting. I'm not that big of a Hooker fan, honestly. I've been saying that for a while now. Let me stop sharing. I'm not that big of a Hendon Hooker fan. He's not from a pro style offense, but I do get it. Especially you get him in the first round, you get him for 5 years. Because he's already 25 years old. So if he does pan out, you'll get him under contract for until he's 30 years old. That's not bad. That's not bad. And he's decent. He's decent. Hold on, go back one more time. There was no Jalen Hyatt either, right? From Tennessee, no Jalen Hyatt. Let me check. What? Yeah, no Jalen Hyatt. Who else is missing? No Jalen Hyatt from Tennessee. No Hendon Hooker from Tennessee. Okay, and he just threw in Darnell Wright at pick 31. Okay, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Because where would Jalen Hyatt go? That's the part. Vikings, but they got Addison. Giants, maybe. Bills instead of Johnson, maybe. They have Gabe Davis, kind of a similar player. Seattle instead of Anthony Richardson, maybe. Detroit, no, they got Williamson from Bama. He's suspended for 5 games though, but Tampa, but they got Jackson Smith. It's tough. And I'm not surprised though. Jalen Hyatt is a fringe first rounder. I'm not surprised. I'm not mad at it. I think what threw people off was, at least threw his list off, was the Packers and the Patriots not going wide receiver, because in some mock drafts, from what I've seen, people had the Packers and Patriots both going wide receiver. That kind of hurt it too, because that pushed everybody down some. Yeah. Then the Steelers trading for Allen Robinson hurt that move too. The Detroit Lions not going receiver here hurts that move, which is possible. I think it is possible the Lions at 18 go wide receiver. They lost Williamson for five games. Quintez Cephas is out now. He's out. He was suspended for an entire year. Tampa, they went wide receiver, so cool. Seattle, mm, Seattle needs some more receiver depth too, though. But you can't pass up a guy like Richardson to sit behind Smith for 2 years. That's not bad at all. You can't beat that. Baltimore going cornerback over wide receiver, debatable, debatable. So okay, all right. So let's go to PFF's big board. My overall grade for Daniel Jeremiah's final mock draft, I'll give it a B. I don't mind it. A couple of stuff I didn't like, especially that pick 24, pick 25, Joey Porter Jr. to the Jags and Brian Branch to the Giants. I would definitely swap those. I didn't like the Texans and Cardinals trading. I don't think it's possible though, but I don't think Paris Johnson makes it to 12, and I think the Cardinals will be out back. I don't think they can move back that far and bank on getting Paris Johnson, because it seems like as of right now, the Cardinals are a-okay with not getting super elite talent, like none of the corners. Now the rumor was they like Witherspoon, they like Will Anderson, and they like Tyree Wilson. But as I said though, Kyler Murray wants Paris Johnson. And I just don't think, going back to 12, Paris Johnson will still be there, because the rumor is also, it's all rumors, all smoke or fire. You never know. You never know what's true. But I've been reading, listening, and seeing about the Steelers want to trade up from pick 17 to pick, 10 or 9 or something like that. And the rumor is the Bears want to trade back. The rumor is the Eagles want to trade back or trade up. So it's like, man, it's a lot of rumors going on, a lot of gossiping going on. So you never know. You never know, man. It's a bunch of stuff going on, a bunch of he say, she say, a bunch of smoke, a bunch of, a lot of stuff going on, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. So we'll see where it goes. But easily, just off the top of the head, easy day one winners are going to be the teams with most picks. The Eagles have 2 picks. The Lions have 2 picks. The Seattle Seahawks have 2 picks. So you would think those guys get 2 rookies, or at least trade and get a veteran player with one of those picks. They're gonna be automatic winners. So I'll look for those 3 teams. And the Texans, they have 2 picks also. So um, we'll see where that goes there. Let's look at PFF's updated April 24th. It's not gonna change. It shouldn't be another one. It's already a draft is in, well, from this video, from this post, draft is in 3 days. It should be set in stone of how it should be. So this is power rankings, overall best players. Let's look into it. Bryce Young at 1, flat out a best playmaker at the quarterback position in draft class. He can get you a bucket. Well, okay, and we all look. I'm already on the bandwagon. I'm a Bryce Young fan since last year. I wanted my Falcons to tank for him all the way. I did the video on it around the same time I did the video on it. Probably, let me check my phone. Is it the exact day? I did a video on it, maybe the exact day. Maybe a year to this day. Let me check. Check real quick. But yeah, I've been a Bryce Young fan. Bryce Young, it says a year. What's the actual date? Oh no, March. Yeah, so I'm definitely off. But yeah, I've been on it for a while, man. I wanted my Falcons to tank for Bryce Young since last year, man. I was definitely on that bandwagon. Overall, best player in this class. I get the quarterback hype, but I think it's Jalen Carter. I really do. I will swap 1 and 2. I think Carter, if all the off the field stuff is out of his system, if he has his head on straight, I think Jalen Carter could be the best player in this class, like without a doubt. He's a in that defensive tackle spot. He's a monster. He's a real monster, man. So I would swap him out with Bryce Young. So I'll have Carter 1, Bryce Young 2, Will Anderson 3. No sir. I've been saying this for a while now. No, no sir. I don't know who goes here, but he got to drop down some. I think Will Anderson slightly overhyped, slightly. And Witherspoon at 4. That's tough. 3 and 4 is a no-no for me. Peter Skronsky, I have him over Witherspoon. Stroud at 6. Will Levis at 7. Bijan, hold on now. Excuse me. Witherspoon and Levis over Bijan? That's strange. Jackson Smith Enigma so high. Richardson. Christian Gonzalez at 12? Wow. Wow. So he's that far behind Devon Witherspoon. See, on my personal rankings, I have Witherspoon behind Christian Gonzalez by like 1. But have him down all these slots. Whoa, okay. Nolan Smith, 13. Cansey, 14. My guy, Brian Branch, at 15. Branch's definition of a football player. He plays the game you wish every defensive back would. He's also the best tackling defensive back PFF graded, missing only 4 tackles on. Yeah, he's a stud. He's a stud, man. To be, and I've said this in the video yesterday. You know, my final preview, my final pre-draft video prior to this one. I said in my video yesterday, I think Brian Branch is the most underrated player in this draft class because he's an elite player. He's an elite. And see here, he's listed at a slot, but he's listed at safety, excuse me, but he's a slot corner. He'll spend time doing safety things, you know, free safety, strong safety in certain moments, but he's really, his bread and butter, where he makes his money at, is going to be at slot corner. And I said yesterday in my video, I think there's a chance that Brian Branch could be one of the best slot corners in today's NFL starting this year. There's a chance. There's a good chance. My guy Miles Murphy at 17, Deonte Banks. Yeah, I think Banks is good, but people are gonna fall in love with his with all his measurables. You know, the 4.35, the vertical inch, all that stuff, the broad jump. Okay, so yeah, so I ain't gonna go too much in this, but it's cool. Tyree Wilson at 20. What? 28? Okay. Yeah, that's about it. I ain't gonna do too much on this, but yeah, man, that's about it for me, guys. We reacted to Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft, the draft guru. That was fun. All in all, man, you know, I'm ready for the draft. That's it. I've been doing draft content for a while now. I've been doing draft content on the 2023 class since last year, and which most people have as well. But no, I did videos on Bijan Robinson last year too, same as Bryce Young. As you saw, as I told you, my Bryce Young video came out in March 22nd, 2022. So I've been on it for a while, man, trying to get this class, trying to talk about this class, build this class up, see who the good players are, see who the guys a little bit overhyped are. So we'll see where everything goes, man. I'm excited. Especially excited seeing these young men, you know, live out their dreams. This is something I want to do. You know, I know a handful of players that I play with, or I know personally that are in the NFL and were drafted, and you know, that stuff is cool, man. This is something I wanted to do when I was younger and I was able, and in the mix of being a high school recruit and going to college, and this was one of my dreams back then. So it's cool seeing these young men live out their dreams and dress in the tux and all the families and the nice suits and all that. It's cool. It's dope, man. It's dope, man. I've watched even prior to playing high school ball and middle school ball. I've been watching the draft since I was a kid. So as most people do anyway, but I've been watching it for a long time, man. And it's cool seeing guys reach their goal and reach their dreams and all that good stuff. So that's it for the video, guys. A lot of talk. How long is this video? Can I even check? Let me check my phone. Okay, I see it right here. 55, almost an hour. Almost an hour long stream, man. I used to do streams often. Believe it or not, I don't do them anymore like I used to, but I used to do live stream, live podcast probably about 4 years ago now, often, hour long, 48 minutes long, every other day, or like what was my schedule back then? Every other day, or if my schedule was a little too busy, I would do Wednesday and Saturday. So yeah, I'm gonna bring it back one day. Don't know when, don't know really the time frame, but I'm definitely gonna bring them back to podcast one day soon. But that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.